So it's no secret you can spend probably as much money as you want to on your live streaming, but here at this channel we're always interested in finding ways to do it in a high quality way that also isn't as expensive as you might think. Now, if you want just a basic live streaming setup, you can get a hardware solution like our Blackmagic ATM Mini, video on this guy coming soon. There's a whole family of these guys now. But even this one, the most basic one, is still a few $100s. What if you don't even want to spend that much? How's $150 sound for hardware switching? Or at least something pretty close to hardware switching? Well, that's possible with the right camera and this guy right here, which is the Stream Deck. And that's what I want to show you today. How we're going to use this is we're going to use this to simulate, if you will, a hardware switching environment using an NDI capable camera or cameras like my Honey Optics 4K here, and our good friend OBS, the free open source video streaming solution. So let's take a look at how this guy plus that guy and a little OBS and NDI magic sprinkled in gets us a pretty complete solution for a pretty low cost. All right, so what we have here is we've got OBS up and running, and got a couple of plugins here. We got the PTZ control plugin, and I've got the NDI source plugin, and I've created one default scene that has all of my current kind of test feeds in it. I've got my Proclaim feed, which is the NDI feed of our presentation software running in another room, actually. We've got the Honey Optics Sanctuary feed. That's the camera in the back of our Sanctuary. Again, running in another room, but that's the glory of NDI. And then I've got the Honey Optics that's actually set up here, my PTZ camera that's set up here in my office. And then for good mix, I've got the FaceTime camera on my laptop to the side of me, just for fun. It's another source in there. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create scenes for the various different scenarios that you might run into while you're streaming. So I'm going to create a second scene here called Scene PNP. And I'm going to add in my, so I got some NDI sources here. I'm going to add in my Sanctuary feed. And then I'm going to shrink that down a little bit because it's coming in pretty big. I'm going to shrink that down, let that eat up that. And then I want to add in my also NDI feed from my Proclaim, my presentation feed. So I'm going to add that into the mix too. And we're going to kind of stick that kind of up here. Over in the corner. Okay, so this could be used as sort of like a default feed for anything that I might be doing that you know, needs this sort of setup where you got your kind of main rear camera and your you know, your presentation software running up into the corner. So we're going to start with that. So I've got this set up, Scene PNP, ready to go. Now we're going to come over here to the Stream Deck software. This is the software that comes with Stream Deck. So you can see here it is. And what it does is it allows you to set up multiple profiles. And I've got a few on here already. But a profile is a preset selection of buttons. And what the Stream Deck really is it's a collection of programmable buttons, each with their own little screen on them. So each one of these buttons becomes their own screen and can be programmed to do various things. And Stream Deck itself accepts additional plugins that you can find through the software, through their store. So I have gone ahead and added the OBS Studio plugin, and we're going to start dragging and dropping these things onto our profile. So we're going to go into there. And there we go. That is now on our Stream Deck profile, and it has been updated real time onto the Stream Deck itself, which is super cool. All right, so this is a scene plugin. So this basically says, I want to activate this scene in OBS. And so we can come in here and I can give it a name. So we're gonna call it like main. We're gonna, you know, collection doesn't really matter. And then I'm gonna go scene PNP. All right, so that's the first thing we're gonna do. Now, under there, I may want to turn various elements on and off within that scene. I can do that with source. So I can come in here for source. I can add one for presentation. It's a little long, kind of barely fits the button, but that's okay. So then within my PNP scene, I want to turn on and off the proclaim feed. So now that's all set. It's all ready to go. So if I come over here and I hit that button on my Stream Deck, so here's my Stream Deck buttons, and if I hit the button for the scene, there it goes. The presentation goes off, presentation goes on, presentation goes off, presentation goes on. Pretty cool. All right, so now if I create another scene, we're going to call this scene office, and we're going to add to this the NDI source for the camera in my office. There it is. I'm going to stretch that out so it's in there. So now I have scene office, and I can add, say, another source. Let's do a video capture device. And we will add in my FaceTime camera. There we go. So there's my FaceTime camera, kind of up there in the corner. There's my Honey Optics, my PTZ right there. And that's now Scene Office. So I'll come back over here to the Stream Deck. I'm going to add a new stream feed. Oh, no, not stream. That's to turn the stream on and off. That's not what I want. I want a scene. So we're gonna add a new scene. There we go. That's what I want. And we're gonna go office. And it's gonna be scene office. And then within that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a source for the FaceTime. I'm gonna spell it correctly. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna try to spell it correctly. So that's again, scene office, source, FaceTime camera. Now this all just updated in real time. So I can go to my Stream Deck here and I can push the button for FaceTime. You can see it actually updates right here when I push that button, goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back. I can add another one if I wanted to, a source here for the PTZ. So, scene office. There you go. And I can turn that on and off and on and off. And now here's the piece de resistance, the thing we're all been waiting for. I can hit the button for main, and look at that. It switched over to main. And I can hit the button for office, and it switches over to office. All right, so you can see where you can create a series of these scenes in your Stream Deck guy here. You can create a series of scenes that then you can switch to right here from this piece of hardware sitting on your desk, and not worry about, you know, and not have to do it from here. And you basically get a hardware switching solution, more or less, for a really, really inexpensive price. Now I want to show you one more thing you can do here. Again, this isn't a full OBS tutorial, but I want to show you one more kind of neat thing you can add in if you would like to your scene. Because I have the ability through my PTZ plugin to move my camera around, select my camera. I can move my camera, move it down here, go over there, move it there. All right, and then I can go and select, I can go ahead and save that position as a preset, preset 1. And then if the camera gets moved somewhere else, we'll move it somewhere else. All right, go there. All right, so now I'm gonna come into my scene, scene office. Got this one. I'm going to add a PTZ action. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one, a new PTZ action. I'm going to create a new PTZ action in the scene. And when this scene becomes when this scene becomes part of the preview. So the preview is what you set up, before, in the preview before it goes to the main feed. So you can say, when this becomes either a part of the preview or part of the program, whichever one you want, so part of the preview, we're going to take the Honey Optics Cam 1 here, and we are going to preset recall preset 1. Okay. So what does that mean? It means, so you can see where the camera is right now. Okay, so if I switch the scene to a different scene, and then I switch back to the scene that has that action on it, you can see that the camera moves to the preset position that you selected. So now this would be useful to allow you to basically, if you're using multiple cameras that have multiple different presets on them, you can set a preset in each scene and have the camera go to where you want it to go at the beginning of the scene and focus on whatever it is you want to focus on. And of course, you can add anything else to the scene that you want to add to the scene under normal OBS. The great thing is you've got a hardware controller now to switch between your preset scenes. And if you still need that fine-grained control over your cameras or over different things in the scenes, you still have access to OBS as well. So you get really a really good version of hardware switching without the investment in a whole lot of hardware. The cameras you already probably have, the computer you probably already have, the network you probably already have, all thanks to NDI. See my other videos about that. And then $150 on top of it for this guy. And even if eventually you do migrate to a hardware-based platform like the ATM Mini here or one of the other ones, still all kinds of things that you can use for this, because there are plugins for all sorts of things with the Stream Deck. But this is one example of using it as a hardware switcher substitute for a fairly reasonable price. And I think that's pretty neat. All right, so that's the Stream Deck, and I hope your wheels are turning on all the different ways that you can use it. Now, this is the introductory, or the intro model, if you will. It's the smallest model, least expensive, and it's got, as you can see, 15 buttons on it, all ready for you to use. They do make other versions, including this guy, which we use in production around here, which is a 32 button version, which I've seen for about $250. So $150, you want some more buttons, all programmable, $250. But either way, you've got a great low price solution to get you on your way. So if you're just getting started with live streaming or want to take it up to the next level, as I've said in some other videos, spend money on the camera first, and then go from there. The Stream Deck is a great option, even if you choose to go on to using a hardware switcher like the ATM, Blackmagic products, or anything like that. This guy is still going to help you out, and there are plugins for all sorts of things that it can do. This one actually lives on my desk and runs all of my Zoom controls for Zoom and presentations and things like that, so that I've got them right there at my fingertips. All right, well, as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please, please, please like and subscribe. In the comments, you will find associate links for all of this stuff that really helps us out here. And we continue to have the $125 off coupon for the Honey Optics camera. If you're in the market for a camera, check them out as well. All right, and until we see each other again, have a great day. Hey everybody, if you found that video helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and also check the video description for links to any products you've seen in today's videos. Doing that really helps support this channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment with any questions that you may have. A lot of the content I do is based directly on the questions and the feedback you give, so keep that coming and I will keep making them. Thank you.